Don't tell us what to do, man.
Yeah, JJ, forget it, man. We're the talent, right? Okay, that's really loosely turned.
Lex actually made a joke that was kind of funny.
Nice, thank you.
Well, it was more of a suggestion. You guys are welcome to just leave. I don't know.
It was more of a long yearned for dream.
Webcast canceled.
All right. Hey, everybody. Well, I really wanted to talk about Flash in IE/Edge.
Obviously, one just recently came out.
But here's the reason. I'm going to talk to you about some best practices if you use Flash and Internet Explorer in your environment. Some best practices and some changes. This is going to be a change for probably how most of you do this if you're using auto deployment to automatically get the latest version of Flash onto your target systems. So let's
should we jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's jump into it.
All right.
So first of all, we've got a bunch of IE packages out there, as you can see in our package library.
I guess you want me to go to the package library.
Right there, man. Perfect.
Yeah. So let me just narrow
that down. Now, the reason we're bringing this up is there are a lot of them right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashes. Obviously, there's the the Flash for IE. Maybe we can change this. I have hesitated changing the name because it's really Flash for IE on XP, Vista, and Windows 7.
Yeah.
Because with Windows 8, obviously, if you're watching this, you probably already know, Windows 8 onward for the ActiveX or the IE Flash.
Microsoft provides KVs now.
Yeah, it's all taken care of in a hotfix.
Yep.
The problem with that, now we're starting to deal with multiple vendors, and this has been an ongoing problem, and it really was exacerbated this last month when there were two out-of-cycle
Flashes.
Two out-of-cycle Flash patches, and Microsoft did not release those hotfixes during the month of March. They did the standard Patch Tuesday on March 10th.
Yep.
And then there were two more out-of-cycle patches from Adobe, and Microsoft just said, we're going to wait
We're going to sit on it, yep.
Well, I wasn't in the meeting. That's whether they said, we're going to wait. That was the end result, is that it didn't get published.
And where this affects things is if you use the Flash for all IE.
This guy right here.
This is what kind of causes us a little conundrum here. Basically, do we put it out every time we get one, or do we wait till they all come out? Because every time, if you're doing an auto deployment off of that one.
Well, and let's look at this. Right now, this is Flash 21.00.213. 213 was released last week by Adobe. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to just open up this package really quick, the All IE. If you notice, we've got a bunch of steps here handling these different operating systems. When they released their 213, that affected this guy for Windows 7 effectively.
Yep.
But the Windows 8, 8.1, the Windows 10, those were not updated.
Yeah.
Actually, Windows 8 is no longer updated as of January. We still provide the 64-bit because they provide Flash for 2012.
Yeah.
But that's only 64-bit. Anyway. So these weren't updated. So if I had rolled this out, the new All IE, and then a week later, Microsoft puts it out there, what version am I going to use? Because if I publish it as 213, which it is, auto deployments aren't going to be triggered. I'm going to have to change that version. Yeah, there's some magic we might want to do, but it's only going to create confusion. So here's the change, guys. Here's the best practice that we're asking you to do. At this point, we're still going to publish the All IE, but it's still kind of a lowest common denominator.
It doesn't get changed until we've got packages for all.
Yeah. So what we want you to do, and obviously in the package library, there's the Adobe Flash for IE, that's the Windows 7. There's the Adobe Flash for Windows 8.1. That also covers 2012, 2012 and 2012 R2. Why are you running Flash on servers? But it's there if you want it. And then there's the Windows 10. So what we're saying, look, I've got an auto deployment. Now for auto deployments, for those of you who don't know, it's an enterprise level feature where you can specify applications that are in the package library and say, I want the latest version of this to be deployed on the schedule that I define.
Exactly.
So when the new versions come out, if you've got your schedule set the way you want, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to be imported and or the files are downloaded and those deployments are kicked off.
Yeah, you set it and forget. It's just going to do it. It'll take care of it for you.
Where I think a lot of you, this is what I've done here, and I've had to change it. And that is where you have the All IE. And let's open up. So I've got one auto deployment for All IE. Open this up. And there's the package. Yes, that's the latest version of that package. And the targets, I'm going to the collection library in PDQ Inventory for anything that's Flash IE old. I'm going to open up Inventory here. If you use Inventory, you have the collection library, you know we have these collections built for you and we update them. Under Runtimes, there's the Flash for IE, and there's Flash IE old, and this incorporates Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and of course the Windows 7, all in one. So that all IE deploys to this on a schedule to this collection. What we're saying now, break it up.
Yep.
All right. So here's what we recommend that you would do. Notice we've got some new collections. Thank you. It was Jason, our support guy. One of our support guys was saying, "Hey, man, can we break this down, please?"
Hanks, can you just make it a little more granular?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't know why we didn't do that. So underneath the Flash IE old, now you've got Flash IE on Windows 10. This shows you the old, those Windows 10 machines that have an older version. The Windows 8X machines that have a lower version, and then of course the Windows XP through Windows 7 that have one. So now go to your package library, and honestly, just
alter the schedule.
Yeah, delete the delete the schedule.
Oh, delete it. You don't want to alter it? Change. Yeah, I guess that's true. You got to change where it's going too. Delete it. It's
Drink
easier.
something.
Blast it away.
Here, cheers.
All right, cheers. Go. Listen to him, not to me. Unless it comes to drinking, then you can listen to me.
I'll take you on any day. I have.
I was going to say, we've done that before. It didn't end pretty.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Let's go ahead and delete that guy.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's go out to the package library and select. Let's see, if you have just Windows 7, then you can just do this one. But we'll start with this guy, Adobe Flash for IE. We're going to add auto deployment. I'm going to create a new schedule, and we'll just call this, Flash.
Ooh, how much have you drank?
Flash. Oh.
I don't know the reference, man. I don't know the reference to that song. I really don't.
It's Queen.
Flash Gordon.
It's Queen from the.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you've seen 6 movies in your entire life.
5, but let's.
And 4 of them are Love
I'm surprised that none of them are Flash.
4 of them are Love Guru.
I'm just going to create a quick schedule. We'll do it weekly on. We'll do Mondays and Fridays. How's that sound?
I like it.
And
Just make sure we do it midday because I hate end users.
Shut up. All right, so there's our triggers. Now for the targets. Instead of using let me just link to. Remember, we're going to do a link to.
You guys do remember the difference between choose and link to? Link to is a dynamic collection. So as your collections change, so does the link to. So.
All right, so instead of going to Flash IE old, which contains Windows 10, Windows 8, etc., I'm going to narrow that down and just say Flash on XP Windows 7.
Yep.
All right, the old. Perfect. And we'll make sure that that's set to stop deploying.
Again, we got to give Jason Hanks,
props
on this. He went to bat for you guys to get this changed. So,
all right. So now that is set up. Do the same thing again. I think you see where we're going. Now we're going to come over here to Flash. If you use Windows 10, then obviously add a new auto deployment. Yeah, you can have a couple of extra auto deployments. Yes, but honestly, guys, let's put it this way: when Windows 7, when Adobe puts that out, guess what? We're going to update this Windows 7 package right away.
Yep.
And we've also seen it in the end of December where Windows 10 came out with an update, and Microsoft said we're going to have to wait on Windows 8. So Windows 8 is going to wait until the next cycle. So that happens again. Guess we're going to update this Windows 10 right away. It's not going to be contingent on this all IE where we're going to have mix and match.
Yeah.
Nope. All right, so Flash.
For security purposes, guys, truly break this up because waiting on Microsoft is, it's waiting on Microsoft.
Yeah,
so
it's
we love them, but again, Microsoft's got an agenda.
Yeah,
stuff they got to get done.
It's when you're dealing with multiple vendors here,
Oh, yeah.
you're kind of dealing with that lowest common denominator.
You are so nice to end users. I'm telling you right now, midday, nuke their jobs. I'd even put a message. You've got 3 seconds to save your stuff, just to be nice. Good
Oops,
luck.
Pardon me. Look at that. Click the wrong thing.
Oh,
all right, so now we're going to just choose this one as Flash for IE. Go to Flash old and Windows 10 old. Right.
Yep.
You get the idea. Do the same thing for Windows 8, and then when you come over here to your auto deployments now.
Don't forget to do Opera.
Shut up.
What?
Yeah, you're going to see multiple schedules, but once again, they're tied to packages that are updated as they come out.
Yeah.
So at this point, probably going to keep on doing the all IE, just so you know.
Again, we'll sit on it till we've got all the updates.
Yeah, best case on a Patch Tuesday, Adobe usually releases around 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. They release their Adobe Flash patch.
It's sick that you know that. I think it's
So
sick.
we'll get that out as soon as it comes out. But then we usually have to wait until around noon or so for Microsoft to publish the KBs, and then we grab those, test them out, yada yada. So best case, you're usually looking for the all IE package at about a 5 to 8 hour difference.
And that's best case.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're looking at the next patch cycle, which could be a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So just keep that in mind. And if it becomes a huge problem, then we might have to. And basically, if you're not heeding our words, we'll do that. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, good time for a question.
Yelp one up.
I have Flash nested in various custom packages. Is there a way to automatically update them and remove the previous version from my library? And a prompt during the delete that says it's nested in other packages. Darren S.
Hi, Darren. All right. So, short answer, no. You're talking about a nested package. Nested packages, when you nest packages that you've either created or you've imported into your package.
They have to reside on your network. Yeah.
Whereas auto deployment, what we were talking about earlier, the way to get that done is through auto deployment, not through nested packages.
Yeah.
So in auto deployment, notice I'm going to come back over here to auto deployment, look at Flash for IE. I can see this version, it's 2.13. Now, depending on my approval, which the approval for this guy is probably my
Default, which is going to be probably about 7 days.
Yeah, I think it's no. I've actually changed that.
Change that one?
I changed it on this one. Just so you know, you can go to preferences. This is your global when you create a auto deployment. Let's go over here to package library. Okay, so this is set to 7 days, right? However, so yes, I thought I had changed that. So it's set to 7 days by default. What that means is, once your console detects that there's a new version in the package library, unless you manually approve that, which you'll always see a little notice on the status bar, hey, there's a package waiting approval. You can approve it, and then that new version is used. If you don't, then after 7 days, that automatically gets approved. And the next time the schedule runs after that approval, you'll get the new version.
Go out.
Yes.
Again, it's a good thing to test these guys, Not that we ever make mistakes.
But when this happens,
But yeah,
right?
Always test, guys.
Yeah, please do. Anyway, when this what am I looking at here? I don't know. I'm smoking crack.
I told you to leave the pipe home today.
Right?
I did.
I don't know what I'm doing. I suck at everything. Schedules, there it is. So if you want to change this, I'm going to go, I selected Adobe Flash for Windows 10. And under the schedules, not the deployments, but the schedules for this guy, if I want to change it just for this one schedule that I've created,
Go down and schedule details.
I can go over here to the current version. You can change the current version if you want to go back or forward if you want. I'm going to change the automatic approval and just say, do this in 1 day. Or you can change it down to hours if you so choose.
Now, is that going to stay for that
Yes,
schedule?
that's going to stay for this schedule. If I create a new auto deployment, it's going to use the global setting that we showed you, which is 7 days. You can change that once again. And I know we've got some customers that say, I always want to be the one to manually approve it. At that point, it's no longer a set and forget.
Yep,
But it's a set, and then one step is needed.
Yep.
We have a few that love to live on the edge that do it immediate. I think best practice is usually give it
a couple days.
Yeah, at least a couple of hours in case.
So you can at least test it. I mean,
yeah, there was a situation where Notepad++, an extremely popular program. It's one of our. We have thousands and thousands of you use Notepad++. Versions, I think it was 6.8.9 came out a couple months ago, and then it was
like hours later.
No, it was actually a day and a half later.
Wow. Okay.
There were some real big regression problems, and the vendor pulled it, saying, "Hey guys, everybody, roll back."
Yeah.
And so we deleted it. Those of you who had that set to immediate, that was the version that was being used.
Yeah.
So give it there's always some room for error. Anyway, that's how you
a lot
do
of
it.
fingers in that pipe.
So Darren, I'm sorry, if you use a nested package, notice we've imported, or I'm sorry, we didn't import. We created auto deployments for Flash for IE and Flash for IE10. You don't see those packages here.
It's because they still reside up on the server.
Yeah, we've downloaded those. We've downloaded those files. We've imported those files into the repository. And how do you find that? If you want to go to your repository, I can open up this folder in Explorer. Go to Adobe, Flash Player, ActiveX. Pardon me. Let's go like to Windows 10. There's my Windows 10s that I've downloaded in the past. So this latest one has been downloaded into the repository, but you don't see the package.
Yeah.
If you want to see the package, that's because the auto deployments are there to be run by a schedule. If I say, hey, I've got this for Windows 10, but I still want to just test this manually, yeah, you can still come out here and just say import. And this is what you can nest. So nesting is a fantastic feature. It's a required pro level or higher. It's pro or enterprise are required.
Yeah.
And nesting is a great way of having one deployment that deploys multiple packages.
It's a good way to do baselines on new computers that come in, or if you like package things like I want to do like a Firefox and a Flash.
The problem is, I'm going to just go ahead and do...
when a new version comes out, you manually have to go change it.
I'm going to select both those. I'll create a new package nesting these. Call this, baseline or something. So what he's asking everybody, what Darren is asking is, I've got all these nested packages where I've got Adobe Flash in there for IE. I want that automatically to be, when a new version comes out, this to be
automatically updated.
Automatically updated. That's an auto deployment feature. That's how you do that. In this case, if you want to do nested packages, when a new version comes out, you're going to need to come in, delete this, go over to the new step, add a new nested package, and add that.
Yep.
Select the package that you want. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. That's why we have auto deployment.
Yep.
So that's really what I would recommend, Darren.
Yeah. Should we hit another question?
No.
All right, then I won't.
All right, see you later. All right, what is the difference between Flash plugin and Flash IE? Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hey.
All right, so Flash plugin.
Firefox.
Yes, it stands for, it's really, when we say plugin, we mean NPAPI. That stands for Netscape Plugin Application Programming Interface. NPAPI has been...
I'm going to drink to that just because you could say that whole thing.
That's pretty good.
JJ.
Yeah.
How many problems has NPAPI had in the last 2 years, security-wise? Do you know?
I don't have a number, but
All of them?
It's high.
it's a
Yeah.
very high number. There's a reason. There's a very good reason why Google decided to axe it completely
From
their
Chrome,
platform,
yeah. Yes.
from Chrome.
So yeah, when Chrome first came out, it used the plugin, and then in August of 2013, they pulled it and they licensed what's known as Pepperflash or PPAPI. They licensed that, and if you actually come over here to Adobe's site, don't tell me what to do, JJ.
Center that window.
All right, I'll center that. Sorry, I can't center while I'm typing. I'm not that good. There we go. All right, so if you go to this website, you can see all the different versions of Flash. So the Firefox Mozilla, notice that's NPAPI. If you want to zoom in, if you can, JJ. Sarah, that is when we say plugin.
That's what it is.
That is now. Yes, is a Pepperflash a plugin? Yes, but it's when plugin is used, it's generally meant to mean NPAPI. Now, why didn't we call it NPAPI? That was an executive decision by me when I was stoned.
Once again, back to the crack pipe.
If you look at the auto deployments, or sorry, if you go look at the package library, I did not want to have Adobe Flash PPAPI because so anyway, Opera now uses PPAPI that you can download from Adobe's site, and we have a package for it. Google Chrome also uses PPAPI, but they have
It's
an
embedded, yeah.
Yes, they have an embedded. I didn't want to call it PPAPI because I don't want people thinking, oh, I can deploy this and update Chrome. No, Chrome handles its Flash updates internally. So I call it Adobe Flash for Opera, even though it's for Chromium, not not Google Chrome, but Chromium-based browsers. And NPAPI is for plugin-based browsers. Well, that's really just Firefox. There's some other ones, but they're not well known.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you look at the collections, in the collection library, we got Flash for IE. We have the Flash for Opera. That was the PPAPI. And I didn't want to do NPAPI here.
Again,
I just
so
didn't want
we
to
did the
confuse
plugin
people.
there. Yeah.
Plugin has been used for years, but that is for Firefox. If you do not use Firefox, you do not need the plugin.
Yep.
If you don't use Opera, you don't need the Opera one. Once again, there is a difference. If you look, going back to this, Chrome right there, that uses PPAPI, but it's embedded. Whereas Opera and other Chromium-based browsers, they use PPAPI, which you can download from Google, which we have a package for if you use Opera. I'm surprised we actually have, not nearly as many downloads for the Opera browser or the Opera Flash, but we have a lot. There's hundreds of you download that, and for every person that downloads it, some people push this out to 1,000, 2,000, 8,000 different computers. So
very true.
I'm kind of surprised at the number of Opera downloads we have.
Yeah, that's fairly high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
well.
JJ, you got any more questions?
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's take this one.
You sounded like Krieger there. You didn't think it was
Okay,
odd that
JJ, you read this question. I want to
No,
hear your
you
voice.
remember that part. You remember that part where Archer thought that he had, where Archer had cancer and it was getting worse and worse, and Krieger finally looked at the chemo pill. He's like, "You're taking pill? You didn't think it was weird that your chemo medicine came in chewable pills?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. I mean, kids get cancer." And you hear Krieger,
They do.
They do.
Oh, they do.
Do we have questions?
Yeah.
JJ, we
Hit it, JJ.
You want me to read this one?
Read it.
If we install the Adobe Flash for Windows 10 package before Windows releases the KB for it, will the KB still install correctly? Nate B.
Yeah, it will. I mean, assuming that there's not other problems. So if you go, in fact, I'm going to come over here, look at Adobe Flash for Windows 10 in the package library. Notice I can download a bunch of these different versions. I think the question you might be asking, if you have like WSUS or some automated way of applying Windows hotfixes, and that hotfix gets installed, the later one gets installed, and you deploy this older one. I haven't tested that, but I imagine you would get you'd probably get an error. Yeah, you'd probably get an error because according in Microsoft, the old KB was superseded. If they've released it and you haven't installed it yet, then yeah, you can deploy this. Just always keep in mind that you're going to want to keep that up to date, and we do that when we keep an eye out for those new patches as they're made available. And we realize that a lot of you probably are like, you know what, I only care about Flash for my Windows 7 because I've got WSUS or whatever set up to handle the others, and that's just fine. What we wanted to do is say, well, we're going to make the effort of grabbing those hot fixes so that if you want, you can take care of
Make it
Flash
available
here.
for you. One-stop shop for Flash.
But if you do, so basically, if you have your WSUS set up to do Flash, and you're happy with it, by all means stick with that. If you want to dig down a little deeper, do this.
Yep.
Do we have? Is there any interest in people who want to disable Flash in Internet Explorer or Edge?
I don't know. We can. Put that
I
out
mean,
there.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
I can. If you want.
We'll start getting results in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Type 1 if you'd like.
There you go.
If you're in the group of people who are like, you know what, I don't want Flash at all in Internet Explorer, or I only want it on some sites. You can use group policy for that, and you can use PDQ Deploy, but you're basically just having to modify the registry.
Exactly.
If you use group policy, recommend that you do that. There's actually we have a blog post, an old blog post, I believe.
Do we have old? We got a ton of old blog posts.
Disable
Got a bunch of new ones too.
Flash Windows 10. Let's see. So Flash IE Windows 10. It's in there. I saw it in there. Go out to our blogs. Or Jason told me about it. But we've got some blogs out there that tell you where to go. If you want to use group policy to disable it and you haven't done that yet, open up your group policy editor. Obviously, it's generally done per user, but you can do this per machine. We've got a GPO here, a policy for disabling Flash. I'm just going to edit this real quick. And this is just to show you this setting. Usually it's in user, but if you want to do this per machine, you go to policies, administrative templates.
Windows components, Internet Explorer.
There's your security features, and you have your add-on management. I'm going to expand this a little bit. There is turn off Flash. Let me make that. Turn off Flash in Internet Explorer. Open that up and enable that and apply that. That just makes a registry change. And go to our support site to find out what that change actually is.
Thanks,
if you want to do that.
For posting the link to the blog.
Oh, hey. I guess Hank's posted the link there for you guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks. You guys want to take another question?
Let's do it. All right. Hey, JJ, read this one with that same voice you did the ad for hiring people. Ready to go.
If you'll understand me.
Yeah.
Can we not add a variable that uses the highest version and a selected version to... No.
It's not working.
He's sauced. Can we not add a variable that uses the highest version in a selected folder to auto-update the nested packages? No. Or since he began with a negative, Jason, yes, you can't.
Yes, you can't. That's the real reason I couldn't read it. Not because I've had three scotches. 2 scotches.
I just love it. It's like you read it, I'm just going to look up like I'm pondering.
Yeah. No, I mean it's an interesting. I kind of like that idea. We did discuss what kind of scope to allow the variables to be used. The variables that we have PDQ. And the variable he's talking about is in PDQ Inventory, and that's the variable that's used in the package library, like for Flash on Windows 10. You notice that variable it's a hotfix name. Yep. Dollar. Well, you can always see. Here's a trivia question. How do you find out what those values are?
Go to Preferences.
Go to your Preferences, File Preferences. I just hit Control Comma.
Go to Variables.
Under Variables, System of the variables that we set. And once again, these variables are the collection library uses these variables. That's available in enterprise mode.
And any collections you build, you can use these variables also.
Yes, you can use these system variables. You can also create your own custom variables if you so choose. But anyway, you can just scroll on down. That was $HF for hotfix.
H comes after A.
There it is, right there. So you can see that's the KB number. The other versions, like for Windows 7, that's under RT for runtime. You can see RT. So this is the variable he's talking about. RT for Adobe Flash. That's the value.
Yeah.
And the answer is no, you can't. Not with deploy. But it's a good question.
It's a good thought, though. Yeah.
Sorry. All right.
All right. Last one.
What would a suggested schedule be to auto-deploy Flash updates to make sure the latest version is pushed out?
John P.
It depends on... Hi, John. It depends on your environment and how aggressive you want to be. So if you have auto-deployment set up, maybe you have an auto-approval set for 6 hours. So that means once your console sees there's a new version, if you don't approve it within 6 hours, it will be approved. But then it comes down to your schedule.
Yeah.
We have customers that use Flash and Java that are really important. They have those set to deploy to old computers that have old versions on a daily basis.
Yep.
We have others that do it on a weekly basis or several times per week.
Yeah.
It just really comes down to your preferences. Flash is generally non-obtrusive. So you deploy Flash to like the Flash plugin, and someone's running Firefox, they've got Flash running.
Won't affect until they reopen Firefox.
Correct. So Flash is fairly unobtrusive. Java, not so much so. Java still doesn't, if you're running Java and you try to update it, you could not only fail on that deployment, but you can actually corrupt Java on the system. That's why we still kill
Shut down browsers, yeah.
When you deploy it. So
which is always fun. Like I say, if you don't mind the calls and support, do that mid-date. Remind people you're the boss.
I do like the idea of using the collection library or maintaining your own collection so that anytime I come out here, I know when I'm under Flash IE old, I know, or I'm very confident, fairly confident, these machines have an old version of Flash. They're in here. I've got fairly aggressive schedules set up. It's highly recommended if you're using Deploy and Inventory together, and you have at least the pro versions of both. In Deploy, under Preferences, under your deployments, scan after deployment.
Yeah, definitely scan the applications. Keep those up to date. And I'll tell you one other good thing. I know a lot of you have to do PCI compliance, or you got Sarbanes-Oxley. Use Inventory. It makes it so easy. So easy to do that. Annie wrote the best blog on this. You guys should read it.
All right, rock on. Do we? Is that a wrap there, JJ?
That is a wrap.
Okay.
So I want to know who won the shirt, and are you guys picking the best questions today? Or
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so what do we got?
We're picking Nate B. and
Nate B.
Sarah A.
Sarah A.
So
Good.
congrats to you. You email Annie. She'll give you the details in a sec. But
All right, rock on. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please change your auto deployments. Best practice. Focus on the OSs if you're doing auto deployments for Flash on IE and Edge. Just focus on those individual packages. Don't do the all IE. We'll still keep it going most likely, but if you want to continue using it, there's going to be a lag time between releases. All right.
Hey, we'll catch you all later.
Rock on. We'll see you later.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Nate and Sarah, if you'll please email me at webcast@adminarsenal.com so I can get you your swag. And Paul C., congratulations. You are our t-shirt winner today, so I'll get in contact with you later today. We'll see you guys next Thursday.